songs can fly on the airwaves. They just need a chance to start. Purple songs can grow and hope and faith and fly from heart to heart.
Did you know Purple Songs Can Fly? Welcome to our program, produced by the Children in Treatment at the Texas Children's Cancer and Hematology Centers. Our program is about great music made by some terrific young talents. Now, here are the hosts of Purple Songs Can Fly.
Thank you, and welcome to the program, Voice America Kids. This is Purple Songs Can Fly. I'm Emily Freeman, and we will be talking to Dr. Susan Blaney. So, Dr. Blaney, where did you grow up?
I was born in Missouri, and I grew up in Ohio. I grew up in a city called Youngstown, which is in northeast Ohio.
And when did you decide that you wanted to be a doctor?
I thought about being a doctor when I was in high school, but I wasn't sure. So when I was in college, I studied chemistry, and I thought I was going to be a chemist.
Oh, okay.
But then I worked, when I was a senior in college, I worked full-time at night on the second shift, and I worked in a chemical industry, a factory. And I decided that I did not want to do that for the rest of my life, but I really wanted to work with children.
Now, where was that?
That was in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oh, okay. All right.
So that's when I decided to apply to medical school.
Wow. Very interesting. Now, where did you go to medical school?
I went to a school called Medical College of Ohio in Toledo, Ohio.
Oh, okay.
When I was in medical school, I decided to join the Army because they had a program where they would pay your tuition. So I didn't want to take out loans.
Right.
And when I got back, I was afraid about taking out a loan and having to pay back that money. So I got a brochure in the mail one day from the Air Force. And it said, join the Air Force. We have a scholarship, and we'll pay your tuition for medical school.
Perfect.
And we'll buy, give you some money to live every month, and you can buy your books.
Right.
So I applied to the Air Force.
Oh,
and
wow.
there weren't any openings in the Air Force. So the Air Force recruiter said to me, he said, whatever you do, don't join the Navy. And I said, why? And he said, because you'll end up on a ship.
Oh, okay.
So I looked at the Army, and I joined the Army. And
Wow.
so that meant that every year for 6 weeks, I had to go and do some training.
Okay. And what did that include?
Well, my first year, you had to learn how to put on your uniform. Just simple stuff.
Right.
When you're in the Army, there's kind of uniforms. So they taught you what clothes to wear, and then they taught you things like how to salute people, all the rules of being in the Army.
Right.
And then they also taught you things like in case you were ever to be in a combat situation and you had to take care of people that were injured, they wanted you to know how to
do all that.
how to safely handle firearms. So then we had to learn how to shoot guns.
Wow.
Like rifles and machine guns. So, and the other thing we did is one day, some of the things they did were just kind of for fun. So one day they took us out and they took us to throw grenades.
Oh my.
So we practiced with dummy grenades.
Okay.
And I don't throw very good. I throw like a girl.
Oh.
So, and there were 4 girls in my group and about 35 men. So then they took us to a real range where you throw real grenades.
Oh gosh. Wow.
And they said, well, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. And I was the only one that said, I don't think I really should throw a real grenade because I don't think I'll throw it very far. And one of the women, she didn't throw her grenade very far. And after that year, the doctors didn't get to throw grenades anymore.
Oh no. Oh no.
So, but then they also taught us about, how to take care of people, in a MASH unit in case there ever was a conflict that we had to go to.
Right.
So that was one summer. Then the other years, I got to go to hospitals that were military hospitals.
Okay. All right.
And
Very
so-
interesting.
Yep.
You're listening to the Voice America Kids Network. This is Purple Songs Can Fly, and I'm Emily Freeman. So I saw on your bio that you were at Walter Reed Medical School. So how did you get there?
So the reason, the way that I ended up at Walter Reed was that when I was a resident, I decided that the thing I really wanted to do for the rest of my life was to be a pediatric hematologist oncologist.
Wow.
And so Walter Reed was the Army hospital where they had a training program for pediatric hematology oncology.
Now, what sparked that interest?
That interest was because, one, I really enjoyed taking care of the patients that I treated who had cancer or blood disorders.
Right.
They were all very, very special. Their families were very special. They never complained, even though some of the treatments that they had to go through were very hard.
Right.
And I just felt a special bond with those patients and their families. It was also an area that, when I trained, there was a long way to make improvement. So we had just started to find treatment regimens that helped children with the most common types of cancers.
Right.
And so it was scientifically also very interesting, in addition to really taking care of children and families who were very, very special.
Right. Well, is there anything that really led you to pursue pediatric oncology as opposed to anything else?
I think I always knew that I wanted to do pediatrics because I was the oldest of 9 children.
Oh.
So I
It
always
prepared you.
I always took care of children, even from when I was very young.
Oh.
I even remember once when I was about 10 years old, and I was babysitting a newborn. And the baby, so by that time I had 8 little brothers and sisters.
Oh,
so I was
my.
very comfortable.
Right.
And I had changed more diapers than that mom had changed. And she looked at me and she said, "Susan, what do you think of that rash?" And then I thought, that's really funny. I'm only 10 years old, and here's the mom asking me.
How about that?
But I really loved taking care of children, and I think part of it was just the way that I grew up.
Well, that's perfect.
Yeah. So.
Very cool.
And the other thing is, children don't complain. If you're taking care of adults with cancer,
Right.
as you get older, you just have a lot of aches and pains, and people complain, and
Right.
children just take things in stride.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You're listening to the Voice America Kids Network. This is Purple Songs Can Fly, and I'm Emily Freeman. We will end this segment by a song by Mary Jo. I'm an American cancer soldier, and she was 8 years old.
I'm an American cancer soldier. I've been through lots of shots. Fights with my family, hospital stays.
cancer survivor. Welcome to the program, Voice America Kids. This is Purple Songs Can Fly. I'm Emily Freeman, and we will be talking to Dr. Susan Blaney. When did you come to Texas Children's?
I came to Texas Children's Cancer Center in 1994.
Okay, and what did you do at that point?
Well, I came down here to start a program called the Clinical Pharmacology or New Drug Development Program. When I was doing my training as a pediatric oncology fellow in Washington, I worked with Dr. David Poplack. And Dr. Poplack came to be the director of the Cancer Center.
Right.
And when he was moving here, he asked me and a couple of my colleagues if we wanted to come and join him in Houston. So I came down to see Texas Children's, and I was very impressed with Texas Children's Hospital. And I'd actually done a rotation here when I was a resident, never dreaming that I'd ever come back to Houston. So I really came down because of Dr. Poplack, and that was almost 19 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And I'm very glad that I came, and I would not think of any place else that's a better place to be than Texas Children's Cancer Center.
I agree. So I know that you are involved with some very important research for the Cancer Center. Can you tell us about that?
So I do a couple of things. One is I oversee our new drug development program. So what we do is we look for promising new drugs to treat children with cancers that are difficult to treat.
Okay, I understand.
So if a cancer comes back after treatment, we want to be able to offer those children and their families a promising new therapy. We also want to make current treatments have less side effects.
Right.
So, as you know, our current treatments have side effects that aren't always so palatable. They can make you nauseous. They can make you have vomiting or lose your hair. And so they're very, very difficult side effects for children to go through. So we're looking for drugs that will just kill the tumor and not kill the other cells in the body that are dividing.
That makes sense.
So that's one of the things that I do. The other thing I oversee is our brain tumor program.
Right. And I had a brain tumor.
And you had a brain tumor.
Yes.
And I think brain tumors are one of our most difficult cancers to treat.
Right.
As you know, it's in a very sensitive, eloquent area of the body.
Right.
So not all brain tumors can be taken out. And it's hard for medications to get into the central nervous system.
Yes.
Your body protects itself from the side effects of
and
medicines.
so it's hard for the medicine, right?
Right. So we look for medicines that get into the central nervous system so that we can more effectively treat brain tumors.
Right.
And hopefully someday we'll be able to eliminate radiation therapy from the treatment for children with brain tumors.
Okay.
Because especially in young children whose brain and central nervous system are still developing, radiation for them can have a lot of side effects. And so one of the things that we want to do is find ways to treat brain tumors without radiation. And not the other dividing cells in the body.
Right, and nothing else. Yeah.
So we work very closely with the other laboratories in the Cancer Center. We have a big group of researchers that are trying to look at the level of the, not just of the cell, but of the DNA in the cell to see what makes a particular type of cell continue to grow and divide. That means make it cancerous. And to see what gene has gone awry. Okay, it doesn't work the way that it's supposed to.
Right.
So over the past year, we found a drug that targets a special mutation in some types of tumors called neuroblastoma or a type of lymphoma.
Right.
And that gene is called the ALK kinase gene. And there's a drug that we've studied over the past year that's had dramatic success in patients that have a mutation in that gene.
Well, that's great.
So it's been very exciting to see children, even after bone marrow transplants and their tumors come back,
Right.
to get one medication that they take by mouth and to have their tumors go away.
That's great.
So we're very excited
That's
about
great.
that. And then they're still able to go to school. So those are the kind of treatments that we're looking for all types of cancer.
Yes. That's amazing.
It is amazing.
Great progress. We're going to end this segment with a song by Cameron, The Kind Side of the Nurse, and he was 9.
I've been coming here since August, and the nurses are real nice. They shine like the sun, they make my fears run. Needles don't hurt, they hold me and they hug me. I've been coming here since August, and the nurses are real nice.
Nurses here are butterflies, they flit and fly around. They're beautiful, phenomenal, they lift me off the ground.
When I'm tired, they make me smile. They say we know you're here a while. They always say sit down and stay, we'll help you find the way.
The nurses here are butterflies, they flit and fly around. They're beautiful, phenomenal, they lift me off the ground. The nurses here are butterflies, they flit and fly around. They're beautiful, phenomenal, they lift me off the ground.
The nurses here are butterflies, they flit and fly around. They're beautiful.
You're listening to the Voice America Kids Network. This is Purple Songs Can Fly, and I'm Emily Freeman. We'll be talking to Dr. Susan Blaney. So, what are some experiences in the Cancer Center that have been most fulfilling for you?
I think the most fulfilling experiences that I've had are to see children and their families come in situations that are extremely difficult and be able to treat those children and have them improve very quickly, to have both the children and their families really work with our team.
Right.
So when we treat a child with cancer, it's not just the doctors taking care of the patient with cancer, it's really the whole team that comes together to make sure that the child who has the cancer gets the best treatment that they can get, that gets not only treatment for their physical disease, but for the emotional and psychosocial needs that they have when they're going through one of the most difficult times in their life. So the people on the team that help us are our nurses, our social workers, our child life workers, and then the special programs that we have through Arts and Medicine, like Purple Songs Can Fly, and other programs that we have. And to me, that's what's really, really fulfilling, to see this whole team of doctors and nurses come together to help the patient and their family.
Yes.
And it's not just the patient. If they have brothers and sisters, we want to make sure that they have the support that they need as well.
And they're all included, yes.
Right, because sometimes they think that some of them are too young to understand that their brother or sister is sick, and they think their mom and dad's just paying all the attention to their brother or sister and don't understand why they're away from home so much.
Right.
And that don't understand why they're so worried or why they're not, happy when they come home and paying attention when they're worried. So I think it's important to reach out also to the siblings of the patients that we take care of.
Yes.
So,
do you have any particularly favorite stories. Can you share some of those with us?
So what are some of my favorite stories? I think some of my favorite stories, one of my favorite stories.
Or experiences.
Yeah. I know one time I took care of a teenage boy who had a cancer that had come back, a very difficult to treat cancer. And he was enrolled on one of our studies with an investigational drug, a new drug,
Right.
and it helped his tumor go away.
That's great.
And he was able to go on a ski trip that year,
Oh, wow.
which he wouldn't have otherwise been able to do. So it was his first time to go skiing, and he learned how to drive and got to go to his school dances.
Oh, cool.
And all those things that he thought, because his cancer had come back, he wasn't going to be able to do. And through research, he was able to have improvement
Right.
and reach milestones that he wouldn't have otherwise reached. And those are the kinds of things that are really, really moving
Right.
and touching.
Are there any other stories?
Let's see. I think other favorite stories I have are to hear from patients many years later. I remember taking care of a little girl when she was 4 years old. Very, very sick with leukemia. Never complained. And every year she would send me a Christmas card. And one of the favorite Christmas cards I got from her was the year that she was in nursing school. And
Oh, wow.
she decided to become a pediatric oncology nurse. And that's what she does today. In New Jersey is take care of other children with cancer. So
Wow.
I think that's really amazing, all the hard things that she went through. And then she decided to dedicate her life to taking care of children to improve their lives.
That's neat.
Yeah.
So how does it feel to be named one of America's top doctors? I mean, congratulations.
Oh, I thank you. I think that to me, it just means that I'm really, really lucky to be able to work with the children and the families that I work with. I love what I do, and I couldn't think of doing anything else.
And that is so important.
So I think that it means I'm lucky to be able to have an opportunity to work
Right.
here at Texas Children's and to work
Yes.
with people like you.
That's amazing. We're going to end this segment with a song by Jessica and Angelica, The God in My Heart, and they were 17 and 18.
The God in my heart loves me so much. The God in my heart, I feel His touch. The God in my heart knows just what to do. He brings me joy and laughter too. What do you love? Who do you love? Where do you find it? Inside. The God in my heart loves me so much. The God in my heart, I feel His touch. The God in my heart knows just what to do. He brings me joy and laughter too. What do you love? Who do you love? Where do you find it? Inside. The God of my heart loves me so much. The God of my heart, I feel His touch. The God of my heart knows just what to do. He brings me joy and laughter too. The God in my heart. The God.
You're listening to the Voice America Kids Network. This is Purple Songs Can Fly, and I'm Emily Freeman. We'll be talking to Dr. Susan Blaney. As you know, there are several programs here in the Cancer Center that are art-related programs, arts and medicine. How do you feel about the arts and medicine program?
I think the Arts and Medicine program is one of the most special things about Texas Children's Cancer Center. I think it brings a dimension to children's lives that's critically important. I think many times children don't know how to express their feelings.
Right.
Or sometimes they don't want to express them with words because they don't want to upset their parents. Children have a way of protecting their parents.
Yes.
And so through the arts and medicine, children are really able to express
Right.
some of the concerns that they have.
Yes.
And also grow. I think it's really a really special and important program.
Right. Now, I have been involved in this program and love it very much. And how have you related and have been involved with the Purple Songs Can Fly project?
I've been involved in the Purple Songs Can Fly project mostly by getting to hear some of the most wonderful recordings that some of our patients have made.
Yes.
They are so touching. Some of them bring laughter to my
Right.
face. Some of them bring tears to my eyes. They're just so moving. And I've been able to also refer children to the Arts and Medicine program and have them be able to come up with a way to express their feelings and their thoughts.
Right, right. I understand that the Cancer Center is going through major renovations and things like that. What are some of the things that they're doing right now?
Well, one of the first things is that our clinic is getting bigger. So we're fortunate to be able to have a wonderful space to take care of our patients and families.
Right.
But we've kind of outgrown that space.
Yes.
So what we're doing is expanding our clinic to make sure that patients have the best experience when they come through and that we
Right.
have space for programs like our Arts and Medicine programs.
Wow.
The other area that we're expanding is our research. And I think that's very important. We
Yes,
have a lot of
it
research
is.
laboratories, and to have new investigators learning about cancer, what causes cancer, ways to treat cancer better, as well as diseases of the blood.
Yes.
So we're continuing to grow in multiple areas. And through that growth, we'll be able to reach our dream, I'm sure, and that's to make sure that we find a cure for all children who have cancer and find ways to make that treatment have less side effects.
Right. My doctor was Dr. Kilburn, and I understand that you had some connections with her. Can you kind of tell us about that?
I can. So Dr. Kilburn came to Texas Children's Cancer Center to do her training in pediatric hematology oncology. So I was one of the people that was her teacher and her mentor.
Okay.
So when you're in your training to become an oncologist, one of the things that you have to do is learn how to do research. And Dr. Kilburn worked in my laboratory. So she worked with me for several years, learning how to do research. And in my laboratory, as I told you before, one of the things we do is look for new drugs
Yes.
and new ways to fight cancer.
Right.
So it's kind of interesting. You may not realize this, but doctors don't just know how to go in the laboratory and do research. So they have to learn everything that they probably forgot from when they were in college. Like they have to learn how to, what we call it pipetting, put very small amounts of liquids into test tubes. They have to learn how to weigh things on a balance.
Right.
And they have to do all kinds of things. So what we do when we have doctors in training is we teach them all those basic skills.
Right.
And luckily, they're fast learners. So after a period of time, then they can do very complicated projects. And then one of the other things when Dr. Kilburn was with me is
Yes.
that the way that we've made advances in the outcome for children with cancer is through clinical research.
Yes.
Okay. And so we teach our physicians how to do clinical research trials. And so Dr. Kilburn worked with me and did trials at national clinical trials for the treatment of children with brain tumors. So, and when Dr. Kilburn got done with her training, she then went to another major children's hospital, and that's where she's working today.
Okay.
So what we want to do is make sure that at Texas Children, we have a couple of missions. One of them, the first, is to take care of children with cancer.
Right.
The next one is to educate. That's to train the next generation of people how to be the best oncologists they can possibly be.
Right.
And then to do research. So I think we talked about all three of those today, didn't we?
Yes, yeah. Well, Dr. Blaney, it has been wonderful talking to you and finding out your story. I just want to thank you for talking with us today. And I'd like to close the show.
Thank you, Emily. It's been very special talking with you and getting to know you over the years.
Thank you.
I really admire you and everything that you do.
Well, thank you very much. We're going to end this last segment by a song by Kei'Yona. It's called I Sing Everywhere, and she was 5 when she wrote it.
Sing to my sister, I sing to my mom, I sing to my brother, I sing to my dad. I sing in my room, in my car, in my church, everywhere. I sing to my nana, I sing to my papa, I sing to my religion, I sing to the rich. In my room, in my car, in my church, everywhere. I sing everywhere. I sing everywhere. I sing everywhere. Even to me.
Thanks for listening to Purple Songs Can Fly. We'll see you again next Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Kids channel. And remember, for more information about the Purple Songs Can Fly project, visit www.purplesongscanfly.org. We'll be back with more music next week.
Purple songs can fly.